Hey everybody, welcome back to the Comic Wall. It's me, the Outcast Angel, and today let's talk about issue 4 of Crude by Steve Orlando and Garry Brown. Now, after last issue where we found out that Kiril was actually one of Mesha Adams' suicide runners, I was just so excited for this issue to drop because I needed to know what was happening because it just doesn't make sense. I mean, with how much of a fighter Kiril was, you think, and with the fact that he came to Blackstone with the dream of, living his life and being who he was, like, it doesn't make sense that he would put himself in a situation like that would lead him to die so pointlessly, and so dropping into this issue, we see that Piotr, Kiril's dad, is not happy with this news at all. He is absolutely livid. And so with him being in one of Mesha Adams' turfs, he just takes out almost all the foot soldiers of Mesha Adam that have come to pretty much kill him. And in his rage, he takes out everyone in this Mesha Adam turf, and these guys seem a little stupid, because, I mean, yes, they outnumber him, but he's obviously very skilled. I mean, he takes out a whole bunch in this whole spread of pages here, and, I mean, they're still, they're still insulting him or insulting his son, and maybe they're ready to die. Maybe that's why they're not exactly trying to preserve themselves. But in this next page, we see the last of this crew still standing. One of them says, "You mean that fuck Kiril was your son?" And they're like, "Sad story. You think any of us have a shit to give?" And one of Piotr's last words in the scene are, "Think any of you will live to give it?" And so in this next scene, we see we're floating beneath Blackstone in a Mesha Adam keep, and we're talking to a new character now. This man, Ivan Kirpichny, I guess he's one of the leaders of Mesha Adam, because I know we saw someone else in issue 2, I believe, who was trying to lead another attack on Petra Pinnacle, but this is someone else. And so one of Mesha Adam's soldiers is reporting to him, telling how they practically lost a whole crew to Piotr, and Ivan is just like, "You're failing at your job. Your job is a lifeline." If this was Prava, who is one of the other sides of this turf war that we have going on, but we haven't seen much of them. We've only heard a little bit of them, like here and there in the last 3 issues. But pretty much he wants whoever this is taking out his men, he wants them dead. In this next scene, we see Piotr has made it back to his apartment, back at his work residence, and he's patching himself up, he's cleaning himself up and everything, but he's remembering a time when his son got a fishing hook stuck in his thumb, like we all have. And one of the things I noticed is that Piotr's remembering his son as he was when he was a child, when he was young and innocent, and I think that's the way he's always seen him. He's always seen his son as weak and just innocent, but with everything that he's finding out here, that's obviously changing, and that's why he keeps going back to these memories, because this is when he was his little boy, this was when he still had his son in probably some of the best memories he's ever had, But Piotr's taken out of these memories when Misha or Mikhail from work knocks on his door, and when Piotr answers the door, Mikhail shoots him with a beanbag gun. Now, holy crap, that crap hurts, okay? Like, jeez. And it staggers him, but he's able to get up, like you'd think he would have broken something already. And Mikhail is just standing in the doorway with the gun still pointed at him, and he says, "Don't move unless you want another one in the mouth." And Piotr accuses him of being Mesha Adam, but Mikhail fires back with, "You think I work for those pieces of trash?" And Mikhail says something interesting, saying, "Messiah Adam and Petra Pinnacle are two sides of the same coin." And then we hear another voice saying, "This is Prava. No payouts, no kickbacks. We protect the right to exist. We count many among our ranks, including your son." And this person talking is Maria. She's one of the founders of Prava. And like I said, we haven't seen much of Prava until now, where we find out more about them than we have about Petra Pinnacle and Messiah Adam as well. Now, Maria says that she knew Kiril, that she knew his son, and she mentions how ever since that first encounter at the docks in issue 2, she's been watching Piotr's movements, and she admits that while Prava is small with barely enough strength to stand, they're growing. They're growing, whether or not Messiah Adam and Petra Pinnacle, I guess, admit that. And while Maria is telling him all this, she doesn't trust him. So she asks him, "Are you an enemy or an ally?" And Piotr doesn't care. He has absolutely no, I guess, he has no desire to be part of any of this. He doesn't care about this. This isn't his fight, in other words. And so all he's doing, and what he tells her, is that, "I'm only here for one reason. My son died for your stupid, pointless ideas, or for Petra Pinnacles, or for Messiah Adams. It doesn't really matter. I'll turn you on each other, and in the chaos, I'll find whoever killed him, and I'll beat his fucking head in." So, still, Piotr doesn't really know who was responsible for Kiril's death. And so, something that Maria says that I've heard in the last couple issues, she says, "You don't even know what you don't know, killer." And this is true, because Piotr's kind of going blindly on this. He's just pretty much killing everybody that he can. And so Maria reveals that Kiril was actually the one who founded Prava. He was the head, like the top dog, the leader, And she explains that he came here like so many, tired of hiding who he was. He expected to work harder than he ever had and expected peace in return. And like so many, he was greeted by corruption, manipulation, and the same shut-tight minds of the mainland. And we see something weird here. Mikhail he looks a little nervous. He's sweating up a storm here, and I can't tell if he's just nervous or if he's just anxious about the situation. But with that being said, Maria's still explaining that the circle of Prava became a defensive wall. Friends became a movement, and Prava was born from us, from Kiril. And so she asks again, "Are you an enemy or an ally?" And Piotr is taking a moment to really take this in, because he's having a hard time just wrapping his head around it. It's hard for him to believe that his son, who, like I've said, he's remembering him as his little boy, his weak, innocent little boy, he's having a hard time believing that his son was a leader. And so Maria admits that he always said that you wouldn't believe it. He said you're a bastard. And so while she's talking, Piotr stops her and says, "Shut up. Just hold on. I'm trying to listen. You want to know what I am? Right now, I'm the only one that can keep you alive." And outside his door, we see just a whole group of, like a SWAT team, outside his door with guns ready to raid the place. And I'm not sure if this is Petra Pinnacle or Messiah Adam. I'm sure it's probably Petra Pinnacle, because they're a little more, I guess, supplied than Messiah Adam. But we see this guy with a really nice beard, by the way, saying, "You sure?" And I think this is a Petra Pinnacle executive, but I'm not too sure. I can't remember off the top of my head. But that's the end of this issue, and I was actually lucky enough to get a letter printed again. And so it starts off with, "Hey Team Crude, okay, so I sort of saw this coming. I had figured Kiril was with Messiah Adam, but I can't believe he was one of their suicide runners. You'd think after coming to some place to live your life and be who you are, that you'd keep yourself from getting killed. Not willingly running into action. But then again, Kiril was a fighter, wasn't he? Like I said earlier. I'm curious, this Petra Pinnacle exec knew who Colorist was. Is Colorist's reputation that widely known, or would this business have dealt with him before? Excited to see y'all next issue, blah blah blah. And Jon Moisan, the editor for Crude, responds with, I think he hit the nail right on the head, Andy. Yeah. Kiril was a fighter to the end. Despite what Piotr may have thought of him, Kiril stood up for what he believed in and fought for it. I think that might be my favorite part of this series, getting to discover who Kiril really was and watching Piotr find that out as well. And Steve Orlando responds with, and the question of why Kiril would let himself be put in that situation to be played by Mesha Adam will yield further revelations as the series goes on. There's still a lot more for Piotr to find out about his son's life on Blackstone and the relationships that pulled him in many painful directions. As for Colorist, the name itself is legendary among operatives, and for a company as crooked and successful as Petra Pinnacle, I have no question they'd at least considered Piotr's services in the past. But that's the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys liked it, and if you did, drop a like, show the love, hit that subscribe button to get more of my videos, ring the bell to get notifications when I post new videos, so that way you guys stay updated and don't miss out. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.